What a beautiful day. Good afternoon, everybody. We got Mr. ML, we've got Mrs. Monkey. Today is pretty special. Caterham very kindly got in contact with me and said, Monkey, would you like a Caterham 7 for a week? Of course, I said yes. Caterhams are pretty special. They've been around for about 50 years and relatively speaking, the design hasn't really changed. Ultimately, they've got better suspension now, better brakes, better tyres, but the chassis, the body and the concept of the car hasn't really changed. Caterham have very kindly given me a 360R today. If you've ever wondered what the different numbers mean, 360 basically relates to the brake horsepower per tonne. So if you've got the 360, it's 360 brake per tonne. If you've got the 620, it's 620 brake per tonne. Quickly show you guys around this lovely little beast. Essentially, the main ethos with these cars is simplicity. They're super light, there's no aerodynamics, you've got super sticky tyres, a cheeky little steering wheel, set of pedals, couple of seats, and that's pretty much it. If you guys pop onto the Caterham website right now, you'll see they do 7 different models of Caterhams. They do a Super Sprint, which is like a sort of limited edition retro classic. They do a 160, a 270, a 310, a 360, a 420, and a 620 as well. As I said before, the numbers relate to the power to weight ratio. So the 160's got 160 brake per tonne, all the way up to the 620, which has 620 horsepower per tonne. All of the entry model Caterhams come with a Ford Sigma engine. All of the sort of middle range and late models come with a Ford Duratec, which is what this has got. They're pretty easy to open, the old engine bays on these. Just a couple of latches this side and a couple this side as well. And then you just got to sort of kind of pull it out a little bit. And off she comes. Woo! Look at that, lightweight. These cars literally weigh nothing. These Duratec engines produce 180 horsepower and just under 200 foot-pounds of torque, so it doesn't sound like massive numbers, but obviously with the car weighing 560 kilos, they really, really are super quick. Over here you've got the air intake, obviously inlet manifold, battery. That's your power steering reservoir, that's your brake master cylinder reservoir. The exhausts are pretty unique, obviously stainless steel manifold, and the exhaust branches right out the side of the car and comes up the side. That's obviously your catalytic converter to make it road legal. The one thing I will say is when you get out of these cars, you've got to be pretty careful you don't burn your leg, because that exhaust gets pretty goddamn hot. The suspension on these is really tricky. This is actually the R package, which comes with sport suspension. If you look here, they've actually got adjustable Bilstein shock. Limited slip differential, essential for any man who likes to do a cheeky dugget. Wheels are really nice. They're a 13-inch lightweight motorsport wheel wrapped in these super sticky Avon ZZS semi-slick tyres. One thing I will say is these cars are actually quite hard to drift. They haven't got a lot of lock from factory and the grip levels are unbelievable, so you literally have to drive like a crazy person in order to get them sideways. For each model Caterham you can either get an S package or an R package. S package is kind of like more of a road friendly package. R package is more track inspired. Obviously Monkey being Monkey wanted the R package, so very kindly Caterham supplied me with an R pack. Next thing I'm going to do is show you how you get in these things. So you just pull the little latch up here, undo the little popper there, and then open the door. That's definitely got to be the lightest door I've ever seen. Caterham actually do these in 2 different chassis. They do an S5 chassis, which is this. This is actually the wider chassis, so it's better for sort of larger people, or it's slightly sort of less cramped inside. They also do an S3 chassis, which is reminiscent of the original chassis, so they're a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter, and a little bit more snug. Hopefully next time we'll get the S3. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys how you get in. Watch the hot exhaust, hand on there. And ta-da! You can actually remove these doors. They're very simple. They literally just slide off, that's it. The guys at Caterham did tell me that if you haven't got a helmet on, you can get quite a bit of sort of wind buffeting over 50 miles an hour. So if you're going to be on the road doing over 50 miles an hour, probably best to put your door back on. Once you're in, you're pretty goddamn snug. The steering wheel is absolutely tiny. I normally run 330mm on my drift cars. That's probably like a, I don't know, like a 240 or something, whatever it is, it's tiny. MX5 gearbox, which is nice and tight. Tiny little handbrake. I did try yanking, or John tried yanking it yesterday, but it was quite hard to get going. We'll give it another try later. There's no stereo in this, no aircon, obviously no electric windows. You've got all your little switches here. They're pretty simple, these dashes. You've obviously got your rev meter there, you've got your speedometer, that's your horn, that's your lights, that's your main beam, that's to flash your lights, that's to start the car, windscreen wipers. That's your indicator, which is quite cool. It doesn't self cancel, obviously. You've got oil pressure, oil temperature, that's your heater fan, That's your front heated windscreen, very posh. That's your fog lights and that's your hazard. That's your fuel gauge as well. Caterham did tell me if it gets to about a quarter, it's probably wise to fill up because they're not the most accurate. Now, these cars aren't the most practical, but we've actually been really surprised. George and I are going to the beach afterwards. And we've got all our camera equipment pretty much packed into this little boot just here. Ta-da! It's actually pretty big. It's not too bad, is it? We've actually got the roof for the car here as well, so it comes with like a weather pack essentially. So if it does rain, you can put a proper roof on it. It's nice and snug, and you can stay nice and dry. This car also comes with an optional extra heater, which I would personally recommend because I think in Britain you will get very cold without one. I'll be one to admit, I always thought these cars were a little bit silly. When I saw them, I just thought they looked like sort of noddy cars. I never really got it. Now I've actually driven one. What an amazing toy, honestly. The gearbox is super close ratio, the steering's super precise, you've got no aerodynamics, no ABS, no traction control. The engine is super powerful. 180 brake doesn't sound like much, but in this little lightweight chassis, I'll tell you what, the car really does shift. Realistically, it's probably the best driver's car I've ever driven. You're so involved. Anyway, you guys are probably bored of listening to me jibber jabbering on. You probably want to know what the car drives like, so let's do it. What's happened, George?
John's killed the car.
John was giving it some death within the UK speed limit, of course. There was a massive pothole in the road. The car's gone in. Obviously, the car's super low, and then we've managed to smack the sump onto the road. Caterham, if you're watching this, please can I have another one? I've broken it. I don't know if you guys can see under there, but there's quite a bit of oil dripping out from underneath the sump. One thing to note with these cars, they are super low. I didn't actually realise, if you look underneath, the sump is literally inches off the ground. So if you are going through some nice country B roads and it's a little bit bumpy, I would definitely sort of be more on the cautious side. On the hindsight, I actually get to make 2 videos out of this, which is pretty cool. I'm sure Caterham don't quite see it like that. You guys look just up there. There's a little towing eye, so we're gonna chuck the tow strap on there and drag it away. Right, we've just turned the car around. Luckily, it only weighs 550 kilos, so it's pretty easy to move around yourself. Anyway, we're now going to drag this poorly Caterham back home. I'll be catching up with you guys in a few days, hopefully once I get another one.